My name is Lisa Bello. I'm a singer-songwriter, mother, creative, and a peace activist. I'm from Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, which is a super dope town in Boston, which both my mother and father are also from. My dad was born on Heath Street. My mom was born by Forest Hills, and they started dating around the age of 15. My life has always been surrounded by music. Music, tattoos, sports, and motorcycles.
Start off with like, how are you? How's everything going? We're face to face.
Yeah, finally.
We're not on Clubhouse.
I know, or on Instagram or voice memos.
Yes.
I'm doing really well. You know, I feel like even though the world's still in a strange place, as we know, and I don't think anything's quite normal, as a creative, I feel like it's starting to break to a good point. So when you say, how am I can genuinely say I'm doing pretty well, and I feel confident about that.
Yeah, and you also dropped an album during the pandemic.
I did.
Which is crazy because I know a lot of people thought about, okay, what about touring? What about like really pushing the music afterwards? How were you able to like, you know, say, hey, I'm gonna drop it and not worry about those things? Or did you even worry about them?
That was the dilemma. I think you hit that on the nose. Like for most of us artists, a lot of our money is made ticket sales and merch, you know? So I found a way around the merch. So obviously I was selling some stuff through the internet, through Instagram. But touring,
that was just kind of funny for me, selling some stuff. I just thought about perverted things.
Some stuff. I was not selling feet pics, although I heard that they go for a lot. No shame. Like one of my friends sells used underwear. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like if there's a lane, women have been exploited for so many years. It's like, do you, sis? Like, you want to make that money? Make the money. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Exactly. I'm with you.
Like we really were like tied down for so many years. We couldn't even vote. Now we can sell feet pics. And
now we can
sell underwears that are used. Like, come on, that's no brainer. But when it came to the album, that was a good segue into the underwear into the album. But when it came to that, I knew going into it, like, stop hoarding your music, because a lot of us artists do it. And I felt like when time comes for me to be able to tour, I'll be able to have so much time to practice those songs. I didn't realize it would be this quick. When I dropped it in December, I didn't think I'd be performing. But yeah, I think it was a split decision with a lot of people dropping albums. They had to decide, can I handle virtual concerts and chilling with my album? The saddest part was not being able to go into a club and play my music full decibels and like wild out. You know what I mean? To just feel what it felt like for other people to
see that, to feel it. Yeah.
So that part was tough. It was like, yeah, I dropped an album. Now I'm gonna sit here and scroll through Instagram because I can't see anybody in person.
Most of the songs that you write about, is it about your life or your friend's life or like someone in your family? Is it real experiences or it's more like things that you observe?
That's a great question, because as a songwriter for other people, I'm always writing about things that I observe. I try to not connect my life ever. For my own stuff, it's me or it's, you know, somebody else.
It's a friend. He's like, don't worry, girl. I'll air him out in this song.
He's gonna get. I'll sign rights away, and you know, what is it called? Them little things you gotta sign.
A little release consent.
Yeah, literally. Because I have friends who'll be like, so I heard number 4. I feel like I told you that story before, and I'm like, but what happened was I interpreted it and put it on the song. You're not getting residuals.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's me or people close to me.
Yep. Yo, that's so funny that you bring that up, because when I was listening to Throat Baby, Baby,
yes,
he literally used that as an experience. He got like really good head in from that girl, and the whole song's about her. So when he had an interview and he was talking about this, I'm like, is she getting any royalties or something? Because the whole song is about how...
It was literally about her.
How good she was.
So I started performing legit. And I mean legit, like this is what I want to do in life. When I was around 18 or 19. I was able to open up for 112. That was one of the coolest experiences, and just, you know, a reminder that I could do this. But it wasn't until about 4.5 years ago that I was doing singing at night and I was teaching during the day. I was a Boston public school teacher. I loved my job. I loved those kids. I just woke up one day and said, I can't do both. And I feel like knowing my father, who had a record deal in the early 70s when my brother was being born and he had to choose between fatherhood and going on a world tour, and he chose fatherhood. I had his voice in my head, and I'm like, if you don't do it now, when? When are you gonna do it? So I retired from teaching, quit my job, and moved to New York to pursue music full time. I have no regrets. I absolutely miss those kids with all my heart, and I know that I'll find another way to work with children in the school system, especially the Boston public school system, which I was part of since I was a child. But for now, the music, you know, I'm the vessel, and the music speaks through me, and I'm just gonna keep going after this.
I want to talk about your tattoos, which I'm pretty sure like everyone's always like wants to ask what's going on, but like I'm curious to know a couple of things. Number one, what was one tattoo that you regret, but it's still on your body and you don't give a shit?
That's a good question. I have a lower back tattoo that I regret, and it's still on my body because it hurts so bad to get it covered up. So I had a cross on my lower back, and it was like such a bootleg cross. I lost a lot of friends growing up, and I was like in this moment where I'm like, God, I need to put this on my back. Like, why did I think I need to put a cross on my lower back? The tramp stamp, right? Then this woman right here is like, maybe I need some tribal stuff to go around it. Like, who am I? I'm 17. Who's guiding me? I have no idea. Not even old enough to get tattoos. Then I just got this huge like tribal with a cross. Here's my thought. Let's just go up your back and just do a ton more things that you don't like. So girl, wild out. Now I'm in the process of covering my entire back except for that. Because at this point in life, I'm like, that was a mistake you made, but let's ride it out.
Yeah.
Like, that reminds you of being 17. Like, no, you're gonna live with that joint. So my whole upper back is turning into this huge panther scene. A lot of money, a lot of time. And then there's this thing behind, and I'm like, I don't care. That I'm wearing that, my jail tattoo is staying on my body. I'm glad no one ever asked me which one I regret. That's a good question.
I love that. Are you covered in your boobies?
Almost fully, yeah. And then not my butt. My legs are almost fully covered. So I'm like, you know, palms and face.
Yeah. Anything in the mouth?
No.
I had to think about that.
No. Nothing in the mouth. You know, I got it in the back of my legs. I got my feet like in between my fingers. It's wild.
Yeah. I want to go get a tattoo done with you.
Yeah,
I just feel like it'd be a lot of fun.
So fun.
I don't know. I'm already like claiming you as my friend.
Let's go. And I take people that have good energy. I'm not like, so I want to put that out there because people ask me all the time, who's your artist? Where do you go to? And I don't always divulge it because I got to tell by your seriousness. But like as far as taking, like I would take you to my artist.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I want to just do something like really, really nice for my mom because my mom passed away this year. It's going to be 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't gotten anything. And it's just crazy because when she was going through chemo and everything, I was just like, I want to get something meaningful. Like I want to get a butterfly, a flower, like something, because she loves butterflies. And every time I see a butterfly, I'm like, that's my mom. So I feel like this is the right moment. I don't know why, and I don't think it's because you have tattoos. I think it's just, it feels right. Do you plan on ever having any more kids?
No, I'm done with babies. I do talk about wanting to adopt and foster. I have a special education license, and my heart is totally invested into children with autism. And right now, I don't have a lane for that, but I feel like that's like my bag. And I know people say that with music, but like that's my bag. I'm super patient. I just understand.
You have to be patient.
You have to.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I quit teaching, the guilt on me wasn't for my kids. They were graduating 8th grade, but it was for the fact that there's not enough me's. And I'm not saying that in a conceited way. I'm saying in a way that like I could have done music earlier solely. But I stayed because I love doing that. You know, and like those are my kids. And even now when I'm out in places,
and I feel like you love
guiding. Yes.
You know, I feel like you're that type of friend as well,
do.
too. You know what I mean?
100%.
And not a yes man. And I think that is what people need. You need someone that's not going to be a yes woman, yes man. You know, I feel like if something ever happens, you're like, Katiria, no, baby. It's
yeah, don't do that. Don't get that tattoo of Michael Jackson's feet. Like that's not what we're.
It's not going down. Let's talk about something that I see in your post, in your bio. It's your brand. I love it. Also, I can fight.
Also, comma, I can fight, period.
Period.
It's my tagline.
I love it. Where did that come from? And I love that because I feel like we're short girls.
Yes.
And like growing up, I had like this, like I have like little people syndrome. Like I'm like, I have to have the biggest car. People need to know that I will beat your ass up and I don't care if I'm small.
It's a complex.
Yeah, it's a
yeah. Like
So
chihuahuas, they call us. Like we're them little dogs that like be barking mad loud. So but
I love it, and I don't know if there's more merch of it, but I'm buying it like today because I like it. And when I first seen it, I didn't even take it as a negative way, like, oh, is this chick trying to intimidate people? I was like, this is hilarious, and yes, this bitch can fight. Okay,
I love it. That's what it is. It's my tagline, and it is supposed to be funny, but it's also one of those things where people be like, you know, also I look really good and such and such. People always try to throw that extra thing. I think for me, because sarcasm is like my second language. Yeah, it is. And so it's like I might write something, you know, sad or super serious about some cause. But at the end, I just want to remind you, also I can fight. You know, that's my thing. So where it came from is, one, I'm an Aries, and we all think that we can fight. Yeah. But I've also been literally, physically, and, you know, figuratively fighting my whole life. I mean, I played sports.
That could be with anything.
With anything. In the sports I had to play, I was the only girl on so many teams. And I had to fight, you know, to get a space in the locker room and things like that. But in reality, I also had to go to Southie High on Friday nights and fight girls. Because, like, that's what we did. We didn't have the internet. No. So if Susie McDonough is out here talking trash about my friend who would never in her life fight, I can't have her name in the streets like that. Like, I'm from Hyde Park. That's not what we do. Yeah. And I'm not saying this to be like, I'm so tough, but it's just what we did. It was normal to fight. Yeah. We didn't have knives, and if we did, we didn't take them out to the fight. Exactly. Like, and then we had the train stop. Yeah. All right, so we could do it afterwards. Legit. The police. And then moving forward, and one thing when I get questioned by men that say things like, are you trying to intimidate me? With the also you can fight. About that. Mm-hmm. I say it because I'm out here soft-spoken with my hard-ass aggressiveness, whatever you want to call it, but I'm about my business, and I just want to make sure when I'm doing deals with certain people and we're having conversations, like at the end, I want to be like, also I can throw down in so many senses of the word, so take me seriously about what I'm about to bring. And I love that because especially being a female artist, just a female period, sometimes people try to hassle you for paying as well. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna let this chick just sing. I'll just give her money afterwards. Like, no, bitch, we could fight before. Let it ride. Being a strong woman in the industry, when you hear the word no from another man, or just like something that you're not being allowed to do, like, what is usually your reaction? And what can you tell women that are out there right now to empower them? Women, yes, all day, every day. I'm so glad you just brought this up. A friend of mine, Joy, we were talking about how we need to create a network, website, Rolodex, a thing for women to come to for every facet of the industry. Whether that means that, you know, they come to you when they're in South Carolina and you know a woman in South Carolina that does the same thing as you, so you recommend them. Having a network for women to go to, because no is often said, or no, you can't do that unless you know, do my mans, or you wear that dress that I liked, or you do this. Or we go out to dinner. And so there's two things. When I'm told no now, I just say, great, have a good day. And I find, like you said, I pick my own lane, or I make it happen on my own. When I was getting told no 10 years ago, I was second guessing my body, my voice, was I sweet enough to that man? Did I do this? Did I do that? Do I have to flirt? Do I have to, like, and what that happens. You know what happens. And like, I'd say again to the women, like, finding different networks Clubhouse is kind of died down in many senses, but I run a club on there called Women in Music. And I have a really cool, eclectic group of women that follow the club that even for me, even if I'm not on the app, I go through and I'm like, yo, who said that they filmed and they were in like Atlanta or something like that? I'll go to their bio, go to Instagram, message them. I need a woman that does such and such in Atlanta. And they're there.
I love that.
And that's like, those are the type of women that I want in my life. And I feel like as new artists, I think a lot of us feel comfortable obviously working with women, but it's few and far between. You know, there's not that many women producers, women interviewers, women camera women, you know. So asking someone, maybe because I'm not against working with men, and I think sometimes like after an interview like this, I'll get DMs like, oh, you man bashing, like, oh, you don't like us?
Yeah, that's
no, that's not it.
I love that. You show genuine love, and that goes a long way. And a lot of people have told me this, but when you have good intentions, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
And you know, I could already tell, and you got a good report. You know, everyone's like, Lisa, you know, showing love out here. So I think that that's amazing advice. You just make either your own lane, do what you have to do, and make sure you keep hustling.
Yeah.
Because you did it. So anyone, that's my whole thing. Like when I do women events and shit, I'm like, I just want to be a voice to say, hey, I thought I couldn't do it, and I did it. So.
And this is how.
Yep. And then also I can fight.
Yeah, and also I can fight. It has to be like at the end of everything.
It has to be at the end of everything.
By the way.
And not.
Let me write that down. Yeah, like very serious thing, and then you just throw that in at the end.
Yep.
I don't wanna wake up till there's sunlight in your room. Don't wanna feel emotions, I just wanna feel you. Keep it in the moment, we gon' ride it out. Let it flow, vibe it out. I don't wanna wake up till there's, I don't wanna wake up till there's.
Also, I can fight.